Hello, what's good YouTube? Hope you guys are all doing well today, and welcome to another episode of Staying in D1. As you guys remember, yesterday I went ahead and lost my previous game, so we're still at 3 points, and I had company on a red card, so he's now back for us after sitting out one match that we lost. And we come up against this guy in a 4-1, 2-1-2 full BPL side, lots of pace all over the pitch, so I knew it was going to be a tough match. But even worse, you guys saw I made a big mistake. What was that mistake, you ask? I forgot to play a fitness card on my club. I had so many players around 80 or lower fitness, so it was just a mess from the beginning. But if you remember in the previous episode yesterday, I said, hey man, I lost this terrible game that I forgot to play fitness, and this is the game you guys are going to see. So in the first half, it wasn't so bad. You know, I was able to pass the ball around, able to keep possession, and it was fine. But in the second half, something just went off. I think my players got way too tired, and fitness really affects everything. It doesn't affect just the stamina of your player. It affects their first touch, I believe. It affects their shot. I think it affects everything. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I do feel a difference when someone is on lower fitness than not just his sprint speed, you know? So correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys can see I did get a couple of shots on target, not the best shots, so I'm not really going to say, oh, I should have scored, but he eventually does get me on the counter, and this is going to be his first shot on goal. Podolski's going to make a nice run and sneak it right past my keeper in the 31st minute, and he's going to take the go-ahead goal and not look back at that point. I'm going to get another shot on target eventually as Torres breaks free, unnecessary step-overs, but his keeper, Joe Hart, makes a good save one more time to make sure it does not go into the back of the net. Here in the second half, finally we get something going in the 55th minute as we get a nice passing sequence over to Santi Cazorla, who's going to do some great work, keep possession of the ball, keep it tight to his body, and because he's got a 5-star weak foot, we take it with his left foot and we put it into the back of the net to equalize. But again, he gets me on the counter. Sturridge, too much pace, lays it off to Chicharito, who's gonna put it into the back of the net for him in the 61st minute, and he's gonna go ahead and go up 2-1 at that point. A lot of people will say, oh, that's trampy, but hey, he took his goal and well deserved. Then he gets another corner, and Mbia is going to get the proper positioning and put it in the back of the net. Now, this is going to be the goal that I was unhappy with. He tries to go for a power shot on goal, and then Victor Valdez makes another mistake. You guys saw I had full power on that throw, and for some reason he throws it at Pique. He's probably like, oh man, Shakira's mine, and he throws it at him, and I give up another goal. But look at this one. Pique in proper position, but Mbia somehow gets to the ball, and he ends up getting a 5th goal, and that's how this one's going to end, guys. So this game ends at 5-1. You guys are going to see I tried to get another attack off, didn't work, and fitness makes such a big difference that you really have to make sure your players have full fitness, and I always do, so I'm pretty much saying stuff I already know. You know what I mean? Like I'm repeating stuff that I've been doing since I started playing FIFA to make sure everyone has full fitness, full morale, because it really does make or break how your team plays. But as you guys can see, we lost 5-1. And we made some adjustments to the team. We got rid of Pique, we got rid of Javi Martinez, and we got Muller and Naldo there as our center back. Don't really know why I got rid of Pique. He just didn't play well for me. He has in the past in other teams. I had a 4-2-3-1 team with him once with Jordi Alba next to him, and he played much better. For this team, he just did not play well. But I came up against a very good opponent. He had a nice, I believe he had a Serie A 3-5-2 Serie A team, very nice team. I eventually read his pass here with Fellaini, pick it off, and we are on the counter at this point as I lay the ball off to Nani on the wings. But I make a big mistake. I could have just laid it off to Torres. Instead, I try to do some skilling, and I almost ended up regretting this. But thankfully, we get the ball over to Santi Cazorla, and his defender's gonna kick my foot, and Santi Cazorla's gonna sell it to the ref. So we end up getting a penalty, and there's no one else but Arjen Robben. Nice shot, nice goal. We go ahead and take the 1-0 lead in the 7th minute, and I really wanted to make sure I won this game simply because 2 losses in a row, that rarely happens for me. Usually I'm able to make adjustments and make sure that does not happen. But again, we get the ball out wide to Robben. And I think he has the diver trade as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he gets bumped and he sells it to the ref again. So we get another penalty. Again, Robin's going to step up, and we're going to go right down the middle this time because he probably thinks we're going right or left, and as you guys can see, it worked. So in the 20th minute, we have 2 penalties so far, and we take the 2-0 lead. Eventually, though, he is going to do some nice work getting a over-the-top through ball right to Alexander Patu, who's going to get knocked out right away. Nocerino gets knocked out by Fellaini, and of course, that's going to be a penalty every single time. And Hernandez is going to come up, take the penalty, but look what happens. Off the post. Very unlucky. We don't clear it, but he gets lucky again. And Zarate is going to put it in for him. He's going to brush off his shoulders. He's like, okay, you got nothing on me. I'm like, all right, man, all right. I see what you're working with. But we get a nice pass all the way to Nani, who's going to float it over to Torres. Torres, a nice header, couple of bounces, and into the goal. So we take the 3-1 lead. But guys, literally right after I scored, he was on the attack. Man, I didn't see him play like this throughout the whole match. He was getting good passes off. He was trying to do whatever possible to score. Gets it out wide here eventually. A very nice pass to get it out wide. And he's just going to cross and pray. And I have no clue how Nocerino's going to get to that ball. You see that? 2 defenders on him, and it just floats right to him, and he puts it into the back of the net. But our defense prevails. He ends up quitting at full time anyway, and we end up getting the victory. So a nice job there by our side to ensure that we keep the lead, and we get the win to give us 6 points, 3 wins, 0 draws, and 2 losses. Not the best start, so we got to make sure we get those clutch genes on and start playing much better. So with that said, guys, this is going to be this episode of Staying in D1. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you guys enjoy the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel for daily uploads. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Take care. Later.